Hey everyone, I wanted to share with you my process for creating multi-layers on my cosmic pores. So the first pour we did live via Instagram, and the rest of the pours are going to be just me behind the scenes, and I thought I'd share it with you. I began by wiping down my board with an alcohol wipe just to remove any dust and debris. There is enough grip on this board due to my overheating, so I don't need to sand this down before I repour. Then I continue on with a clear coat over the surface of my first cosmic pour just to retain some of the colors that are behind there and to build up the layers and give it some depth. Using my torch, I'm now heating up my resin and popping some air bubbles. It's starting to get pretty chilly here in Colorado, so I'm doing a lot of heating in between working with my resin. This is why I double glove, because I often like to use my hand to move the resin around the board, getting that even layer across the whole thing. I really love working my hand in the resin. It's soothing and relaxing and really gets me in the zone to continue my work. And then once again using my torch to pop the air bubbles and help make my resin warm and fluid. Now I'm dividing up my resin into some smaller cups so that I can mix in my mica powders. Remember to keep your pigment to resin ratio about 10% or less pigment to resin. Now I'm taking some Czech crystals and I'm just placing them here and there in my first coat of resin to give it a little bit of sparkle, like there might be some stars twinkling in the universe out there. And I realized I forgot to grab my Resin turquoise, one of my favorite colors to work with, so I'm mixing that in too. There's really no rhyme or reason to where I lay down my colors. Obviously, I want to keep like colors together and not make mud, but that's one of the beauties of working with resin. You don't tend to get that problem like you do with pouring acrylics together. But still, I try to work on my composition and just let it flow naturally as best I can. I notice that when I'm trying too hard to overwork a piece, it just doesn't go smoothly. So I'm working at letting the colors flow and letting go. Those are my new mantras when I'm working with art resin. Now using my heat gun, I start to warm the resin and blend my colors, and this is where you'll start to create those lacing effects and cells in your resin when you're blending these mica pigments and epoxy pigments together. Some really cool things happen. Now I'm adding in that amazing Armor Art white epoxy pigment. This really helps give it depth and helps the other colors pop. And this is one of those moments where I wished I would have stopped, let it cure, and move on. But nope, I kept working my resin and overcooked it in a few places. But that's okay, I will go back over it with a third layer. If you like what I'm doing, it sure helps out a lot if you hit that thumbs up and subscribe so that you can stay tuned to see how this piece turns out. Have a great day, everyone, and happy creating!